Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining today. I am super excited to be here. And as people start joining, I'm going to take this moment to just explain to you a little bit about what is Women Who Market Day, what you are going to be enjoying today, and a little bit of the agenda. That way we give a little bit of time for people to join. So let me show you. I should have done this differently, but it's okay. Let me. Oh, what happened? Of course, everything was organized and nice. No, it's okay. So I want to show you a little bit about what's gonna happen today. There you go. As we give some time for people to join. So as some of you may know, so we host Women Who Market Day the 18th of every month. So mark it in your calendar whenever you want to learn, whenever you want to connect with people and have some fun. You know that the 18th of every month we have these sessions. And the agenda is it's the same. It just changes the topics that we talk about. So right now from 9 to 10 Central Time, so Eastern Time, it's 11 to 12, I think. What we are going to, I'm sorry, 10 to 11. So we're going to talk about how to attract your tribe. And we are going to talk about two very important topics, which is branding and positioning. Then we have a 1 hour break. And at 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, we're going to have the exact same class, but in Spanish. In case you're wondering about my accent, yes, I speak Spanish. So in case that you either want to learn Spanish or you also speak Spanish and want just to learn more about the topic, then you can join again. Then we have a break for lunch, and then we come back at 1 where we're going to have Q&A session. So this is really cool because here you can either come and talk about and ask us anything that we have covered during class, but also if you have a challenge with your business or have an idea or just have something that you're curious about or that you want to know the answers to, then you can come here and ask us, because we have people that speak different languages. So what we have decided is that the first half an hour we're going to answer questions in English, and then the second half an hour we're going to do it in Spanish. Then we have another break. That way you can go and finish what you have to do during the day. And at 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I highly, highly recommend for you to come and join us for the roundtable discussion on the topic of enjoyment. So I decided to talk about this because I don't know, it's April and it seems like this year went by so quickly already. And everything is kind of building more and more and more, and maybe we're getting a little bit stressed out. At least that has been my case lately. And and I don't want just to continue on that motion. And I thought about three very good friends, and they really embody the behavior of enjoying their lives despite of whatever is happening with their busy lives. So I reached out to them, and they're going to tell us a few tips and tricks and things that what they do to always have enjoyment as a priority in their lives despite of whatever is happening. We already had a session with them. I learned tons, like doing the practice session for today. So I'm so looking forward for the actual presentation because I know that you're going to learn a lot. And then at 5 o'clock, it's gonna be 5 o'clock somewhere. I say that we're going to have happy hour. I wish that we could do it face to face, and I wish that we can see our faces and have a drink or have water or have whatever and just enjoy ourselves. But the idea with this is that regardless of where you are, because I see here people joining from different places, the idea is that like if you start putting in your calendar 18 of each month, Women Who Market Day, I'm going to learn about different things. And then I'm going to make sure that in the afternoon, I just disconnect from digital screens. I go out, maybe meet with friends or family, or just do something in the real world. So that's why you see here happy hour. Eventually, hopefully, we can get to meet face to face, but for right now, it's more an invitation for each of you to do it virtually. I mean, sorry, whatever you are. So with that being said, I see here tons of people coming in. So thank you so much. So let's get started to what we came here to learn, which is how to attract your tribe. Let me put this here in presentation mode. So the idea for today's session is learn how to do this so that we attract the right people to our business to achieve long-term sustainable growth. So let's just dive into it. And by the way, if you have any questions, if you have any problems either with the audio or anything, there is a chat function here where you can go in and talk to us, and we'll make sure to help you out. Okay, so you're here because maybe you already have an established business, you work for a company, or you have your own company, you're just starting, or you just have an idea. So today, although I'm going to talk about very in-depth topics, at the same time, I'm going just to touch the surface. I'm going to just kind of bring attention of what is important so that later you can dig deeper into this topic. So if you know a lot about marketing, this could be more of a refresher. If you are very new to marketing, this is going to be really good because we're going to give you a welcoming to the world of branding and positioning and attracting the right audience. So we're going to talk about what is the definition of a tribe. That's the title of the session. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. And then we go into what is branding, what is positioning, and what you can do with this information. Okay, so I see that some of you know me, but some of you don't. So why do you have to pay attention to me for the next 40, 50 minutes? So I figured that I should give a proper introduction. So I'm Alina, I'm a marketer, I'm a teacher and a student. I'm also a wife, a friend, and I say a proud outsider. I have weird things. I love Mondays, I love rainy days, and as you come more to these sessions, you're going to learn more about why I say that I'm a proud outsider. And I'm the creator of Women Who Market, and we are a marketing company committed to help everybody find their gift, find their way. And we do that through education, through consulting, through workshopping, through any of these activities. Now, on the professional side, I have 12 years of experience in marketing, 8 of those specifically in B2B and in the tech space. I have 5 years of ABM experience, account-based marketing experience. I have a master's in business and also a concentration in marketing. I also went to school for advertising and public relations, so all my academic background is 100% related to communications. I had the pleasure to be an adjunct professor at the University of Tampa teaching marketing. So I know a few things about marketing, and I'm not just here telling things because I want to tell you. And then I've been in the US for 18 years, and despite all these years, I still have my lovely accent that is from Medellin, Colombia, which is where I'm from, where I was born. Okay, so how can you take full advantage of this session? You always hear me saying this, and I keep saying it, write things down. Some of this information, there is a handout already in this section where you can download the main key points and the main worksheets you can download it. But if you really want to get a little bit more extra, feel free to grab a pen and a piece of paper and start writing things down. Okay, so let's dig into it. So let's just set up like the premise, assuming that we're here because we have a business, right? So you start a business because you have a talent, a passion, you're good at something, and you know that potentially that could help others fulfill a need or solve a problem. And those others are those customers or those clients or those followers, however you want to name them. So then in the two parties, there is this exchange relationship. You provide your service or your product in exchange for money. They give you, they pay for those services, and that's how a business is created. So I want to hear a little bit of participation from the audience. Is there something wrong with this concept? Do you think that that's a valid concept? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. And if you want to put it in the chat, will be great. Or just think about it. Okay. Well, if you think that there is nothing wrong with this statement, that, oh yeah, this is exactly how a business is, well, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. In today's world, you should not think that a business is just a pure exchange of a product or service in return for money, and then you're done. And let me show you why having that belief it's wrong. So here's just a snapshot of how the marketplace is today. So just in January and February 2023 in the United States, according to the Business Administration, there were over 800,000 new business applications. That means that about 601 businesses were open per hour just in the United States in the first 2 months of this year. Globally, there is an estimated about of 334 million companies. That is a lot of companies. So in today's world, the competition is extremely high and the success rate, unfortunately, for businesses is very low. So if you're thinking of a business as a pure exchange of a product or service in return for money, you could potentially make a few bucks here and there, maybe make it year 1, year 2, maybe even year 10. But guess what? When somebody comes to you just for a pure exchange of a business relationship, then they're also gonna go away once that exchange, that's just simple transaction, is not good enough for them. And maybe there is somebody new in town that comes with something shinier, maybe cheaper, maybe better, and then they're just gonna walk away. So if in today's, maybe this concept of just thinking about a business as a pure exchange worked in years past, yes, because the competition wasn't that high. We didn't have the internet, we didn't have the connectivity with everybody. So probably at that moment it worked. But in today's world, just thinking about your business that way is not going to make it. So fortunately, I know this is very sad, but fortunately you're here, and I'm so happy that you're here because that's why you're interested into knowing, okay, how can I successfully draw in my tribe, that people that I'm going to be able to establish a long-term future for my business. So that's what we're going to learn today. So although the scenario is a little bit scary, you guys are doing the right thing for learning more about how we can attract the right people to your business. So what is a tribe? A tribe is actually something more than customers. So the tribe, yes, of course, there are those customers, clients, followers that you're passionate to serve, but there is something extra there. And it's just this deeper layer that connects them directly to you, to your identity, to your purpose, to your values. is the tribe is composed of all these people who share your principles, your mission, your vision, that they are connected with you at a deeper level other than the product or the service that you offer. That is it's a tribe. So if that is a tribe, that group of people that connect to something deeper than just a facade. So what you must have as a business owner? Well, you must have some, what I call it, some meat in your bones. You must have a clear idea of what you stand for. You must have a clear idea what are your values, what are your traits, and what I like to say, like what you proudly wear, not literally, but like what you embody that you communicate every single day. So in order to have that tribe that comes to you, then you have to do some work first on you, right? Here is a very important thing that's like a lot of people kind of get into, oh yes, I know that I need to have like my beliefs and my vision and my vision. I know that I have to have that. But here is the key word that not that many people have, or that not many people understand that they must have in order for this to work out, which is the word to be coherent or to be consistent. And I just want you to hold that thought for a second, and I'll promise you that we're gonna get into branding and positioning, but I just want to explain this foundation first so that when we're going to go into these concepts, you are going to truly appreciate them. So hold one thought about this coherent thing. And let me tell you why you must create a tribe. And I want to tell you like a quick story about me and my husband. So this is my husband, Rich, and this is me many years ago. We look so young there. But my husband is from Chicago, and we used to come every other weekend to visit his mom. And then finally, we decided to move to Chicago as of last year. So we moved here to a new neighborhood. So what did I do? I went out and tried different restaurants just to get to know the neighborhood and get to see like what it was, right? So let me show you an example of why it's important to create a tribe. So there is this scenario A where it's Chicago, so it snows. Actually, yesterday, today is sunny and beautiful, although it's 38 degrees. But yesterday it snowed. It was I woke up and it was white. It was crazy. So it's a snowy day and I don't feel like cooking. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me order takeout. So in that behavior, I think, oh, let me order takeout. I grab my phone, I Google like food near me. Um, I Google food near me. Maybe I check reviews, prices. After a while, I picked an option. I get the food delivered. I eat it. I save the leftovers. I throw away the trash, which, by the way, has that shiny to go menu stapled to the bag. And then, end of the story, I move on. That's the scenario A. Now, let me tell you about scenario B. The same concept, snowy day. I don't feel like cooking. I'm going to order something. But guess what? When I was going around the neighborhood, I came across this restaurant called Delia's Kitchen. Oh, the food so amazing. The place was really nice. They had like the best blueberry pancakes ever. Uh, Everybody was very friendly. The server was super cool, and like he will like comment in and out, but like he will tell us a few things about why Delia started the restaurant. So in the same scenario, snowy, I'm hungry, let me order to go food. I'll just Google Delia's Kitchen, place an order, get my food. I perhaps take a selfie with the food, post it on social media, tag them. I even create a hashtag, love Delia's Kitchen. I ate most of the food, I throw away the rest. And by the way, that bag didn't include that shiny to go menu that business owners spend so much money creating. And guess what? Even in that process, I still did more because it took me a split of a second to pick them in my mind. So I didn't have to go through the process of selecting from the many competitors. From a good experience from the get go, they already got a little place in my heart. Then, even on their behalf, I do promotion on their behalf without even they asking and without even they investing money in a shiny menu. And now here I'm even talking about it. So I'm not a minds reader, but if you are a business owner, I think it's safe to assume that you want to be in scenario B, right? So scenario B, it describes more of this vibe or this behavior that you're going to have if you start creating a tribe versus if you just think as a business as an exchange relationship where you're just looking for customers and that's it. So do you see the difference and do you see the importance? So now that you see the importance of it, let's go back and talk about what coherence. You mentioned that. What are you talking about, Alina? Because now I hope that you understand the need to truly understand these concepts. So you were talking about how to attract a tribe. I wouldn't be doing a good job if I'm not talking about the law of attraction, right? So as some of you know, it's a philosophy suggesting that whatever we focus in and put our energy is what we attract in life. So if we have positive thoughts, we're going to attract positive thoughts. And then if we have negative thoughts, we're going to attract negative thoughts. But I want to add another law, which is the law of vibration. And here is more of a science. So for the non-believers, and I'm not here to judge what is your religion, what you believe on, but the reason why I wanted to bring these two laws is because here, regardless if you are 100% scientific pure facts or if you do believe in something greater than yourself, both laws is still talk to each other and both laws still kind of agree in the same thing. And then the law of vibration talks about that the universe, it's energy, and this is even about quantum physics. So this is like very intelligent and smart people that talk about these things, right? Not me telling you this. And they, after all this research, they have identified that everything in the universe is energy, and it vibrates, it moves at a certain frequency. And then depending on the frequency of those thoughts and those emotions, well, that is going to affect the frequency of the experiences that you attract. So if you vibrate in a positive, in a happy frequency, well, guess what? The experiences that are gonna come to you are also in that level. The same with businesses. If you have a specific vibe frequency on how you want to run your business, well, guess what? That type of people are gonna come to you. So this is like actual law. Here is one thing though. For these laws to actually work, they must be coherent. There must be coherence, there must be consistency among the three of them. And that's the challenge. So there are three things that needs to be consistent and it needs to be coherent. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. But this is the tricky part because we think a series of things, we feel a different way, and we do a different thing. So instead of having this flow where these three things are consistent and coherent and they flow, we get something like this that is running all over the place. And then you ended up with something like this, which is complete chaos because you say, oh my God, Alina, yes, of course, I've heard so much about the law of attraction. And I do think about, my God, making $1 million. But maybe you truly don't feel like you can pull it off. And maybe your actions don't reflect what you're thinking. So that's why you don't get what you want because all these things are going in different directions. versus if there is a consistency and a coherence with these three things, then there's still gonna be chaos because that's life. I'm not here to tell you that everything is gonna be perfect and smooth, but even in that chaos, you're still going to find relief and happiness, and you're still going to find your way. So when we're thinking about of these concepts, I just want you to pause for a second because I know that we just went through a lot of things, but in order to properly take advantage of these amazing marketing concepts, which is branding and positioning, so that we understand the importance of it, we need to take a pause and say, first of all, I need to elevate the view of my business to move it from pure transaction to more of a connection with people. I need to elevate my view of customers to pure, I have something that you need and you have something that I want, which is money. We're going to elevate that and move it into, I'm looking to identify with a group of people that identifies with the same beliefs that I have. And then we're going to think about being coherent with everything that we do, with whatever we think, whatever we feel, and whatever we do. And then if we have these three things in understanding, and we say, okay, I'm gonna buy this into this thinking, I guarantee you that the next things that we're going to learn about are going to be of so much value to you. So let's dig into the key concepts. So branding. What is branding? Branding is the process of creating the tangible and non-tangible representations of your business in the mind of your tribe. So it's a process. You need to create things that people can see and feel, but also there is an intangible portion. And of course, it involves the development of a consistent message, a visual identity, all these things that truly reflect what you want people to think of you. And there are many elements in this. So you're going to have your brand statement, which is the DNA, and it's something very personal. It's something that you're not gonna go and show on your website, but it's more of like that process of thinking, okay, what do I stand for? What are my values? Why did I start this? And there is more to come in these sections. And then you have your name, your logo, your symbols, your tone of voice, I'm sorry, your packaging, who is going to manage it, your promotions. There is a whole bunch of stuff. So the cool thing about branding is that it's not just me that I just made this up. Again, I'm here, I am the messenger, because there is a lot of people extremely genius and extremely good that have created models and frameworks that big companies like Nike, Coca-Cola, Apple have used in their strategies. So there are many models that you can use, but today I want to teach you about a specific one that is called the brand resonance model. And I really like it because it talks about how branding positioning affects what customers think, feel, and do, which is what we talked about in these laws of attractions and vibrations, and to which degree they resonate or connect with your brand. So if you Google branding models, you're gonna come up with many of them. I personally like this model because of that, because it really touches those three things that I truly believe that it must be in coherence. That way you can attract your tribe. And it was made by this person called Kevin Keller, and he was a professor at the Tuck School of Business of Dartmouth College. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So let me show you how this model works. And I see here we have a question. We'll address the questions at the end. So here we have the model. So this is the brand resonance triangle pyramid. So the first thing, the bottom here, is the silences, which is just basically creating what is that thing that you're selling. It's just the pure form of your business. And then you start moving up into performance and imagery, and is where you start kind of developing a little bit more, adding the characteristics, the features, adding those perceptions in people's minds of what is that personality, what is that value, how is it, how this business talks. Then you go even a little bit deeper, you go a little bit more level, and then you start thinking about strategies on how people are going to think or to judge your brand. And this is when we talk about quality, credibility, and also feelings. How how do you want people to feel when they are in engagement with your brand? With the ultimate goal, the ultimate thing, which is to have this famous topic that everybody talks about brand loyalty. So, how this works is that you can think about this as stages of brand development and then the objective for each stage. So if you're here new and say, oh my God, Alina, okay, I understand that I need to create my tribe. I understand that I need to create a strong brand in order to do that, because if I don't do that, I'm not going to survive in business. The competition is very high. How do I even create this thing? So the first step, you don't have to do it all at once. You can just do it step by step. So the first step is that you're just going to think about that identity, right? So exactly what is it that you sell, what it is, and then think about, okay, creating your name, your logo, your tagline, and then just the pure objective here is to ensure that people have the right identification and the right association in their mind. That if they know, oh, here is Janine and she is a health coach, that they just make that connection really quickly, and that's it. That's all you care about in the first stage. In the second stage, then you then is when you start digging a little bit deeper, and you're like, instead of who you are, then you're talking about what are you, what are your values, what is your mission, what is your vision. And then the goal here, the objective here, is to establish that meaning in customers' mind. So at the beginning, I'm just establishing the connection. This is the business, this is what it does. The second level is that now I'm establishing a meaning. I want to make sure that when the customer thinks of me, thinks in a specific way, right? And how do I try to do that? By developing more my values, my mission, my vision, that aspect. Then you go to the third level, which is the third level of stage of developing a brand. And then is when you start answering questions. Okay, what about you? Like, how customers wants to respond to this brand? And the idea here, the objective here, is to generate the proper responses for the brand. So here is more about, okay, what about you? Why do I have to like involve with you? And that's when you have to start digging into, okay, because these are the feelings that I want you to feel when you are with me, or this is my stamp of credibility and quality, and you start building like a deeper level of connection. So then the final stage is the relationship, which is very funny because it's actually the final stage, but a lot of people and even a lot of customers that come to me, they just want to go there right there. Oh, I'm starting this business and now I want loyal people. And that doesn't happen overnight. Even if you think about in your relationships with your friends and your and even your significant other, I mean, I do have heard stories that like you meet somebody and like within a month you are married and live happily ever after. But the great majority of people, it takes us a little bit of time to build that relationship, to build that bonding, to make that connection and say, okay, now it's not just the business or me. It's more about what about you and me, how we can do this thing together. And then, of course, the objective there is to create that loyal relationship between the customer and the brand. So, as I said at the beginning, this is extremely high level. This is for me to tell you, hey, there are tons of branding models that you can use. I personally, when it comes to building your brand, I personally recommend following something like this model, just because this model truly talks about how we're going to connect with customers based on what we think, we feel, and we do. So that's why I decided to pick this model. So if you're interested and you're like, oh my God, yes, I want to do this, then you're gonna ask me, okay, so how did I start filling those blanks? That pyramid sounds very nice and wonderful. How do I actually start filling in those blanks? So my recommendation is that you first start by creating your brand statement. And the brand statement is just truly just describing what is a lot about you and what is unique about you. There isn't anything fancy, there isn't any grids or anything. It's just basically you and your thoughts. And I think that's one of the reasons why I also really love teaching to small business owners, because I truly believe that we are the future of businesses, because these big corporations now, they are so far away from their DNA, from they already maybe even forgot why they started business in the first place. um, but then a whole bunch of small business owners are coming in and are putting time and effort into creating the branding, creating your brand statement, creating these the meat that I mentioned. So that's why this just gives me hope, and it gets me very excited that I truly believe that small businesses of today really have good chances to succeed. So to create that the brand resonance pyramid, my suggestion is that the first step is that you start creating your brand statement. And this is something personal, just between you and you. Or of course, if you have business partners, then it could be it could be all of them, like you, the two or the three of you together. But these are the questions that you can answer yourself. So you can just start writing and say, okay, what do I sell? How do I sell it? What are my values? What I believe in? Why did I decide to start this business? Why people should try this product or service? How would I explain my business to a 5-year-old? How do I want people to feel when they interact with me? Maybe think about, okay, how can I express my business in one word? What people want, what do you want people to say? This one is very important. What do you want people to say when you're not in the room? And then when you first wake up in the morning, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about your business? So literally, what I recommend for you is just to like take some time to start writing. In the handout that you see here, you have all these questions, and that's the first step, is creating that brand statement, creating that brand DNA. That's something just between you and you. You don't have to publish it anywhere. But based on that, you're going to start seeing a theme. You're going to start seeing some things like, oh, you know what? This is what I want to go for. This is what I want to go for. And that database then is what's going to allow you to start feeling this amazing model. So that's a little bit about this. And honestly, maybe during the Q&A, if you can join, there are different models. Like there is the brand archetype, there are different branding models based on reasoning, feelings. Like there is a whole bunch. It's a very fascinating world. So if you want to join the Q&A session, we can definitely talk about these other ones. But for the sake of time, let's just pause again and then move on. But before I move on, I know that I did say that the questions for the end, but I do see here a question about the pyramid. So I don't wanna leave it alone. So it says, can I follow the brand resonance pyramid ideology and still have my mindset in a start with why mentality? Basically trying to focus on why I exist as a company and trying to work backwards from that. Yes, Chris. Oh, Chris is here. I love it. Hi, Chris. Oh, and then he also says that we're just part-time psychologists. Chris, yes, you could start with what Simon Sinek suggests. Here is my opinion about it. And again, this is the reason why so many few people are not good at this. Because truly focusing on your why, understanding your why, and more as a company. If you're a business owner, perhaps you could dig deep enough to find your why. But as a company, it's so hard to truly be honest and answer that question correctly. So that's why you could start with that. But I guarantee you that you could be a little bit more successful if you actually follow the pyramid. And then in that process, you are going to discover your why. Because here's the thing, the why is that thing that is so, 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 so deep in you that most of people are even afraid to dig for it. So you could find a why, but maybe it's not the real why. Versus if you are more visual and if you just start thinking about how can I build this pyramid and how can I fill it out and how can I move up, in that process, if you're truly committed to building a strong brand, in that process, I guarantee you that you're going to find the true why. And then of course you can apply. But if it was as easy as he suggests to start with your why, many companies will be doing it by now, and they're not. It's just because it's really hard. And this is also touches the point what I say about I'm really passionate about small businesses, because when it's just one or two people dreaming about something, it's easier to find that why than when it's already established company with 1,000 employees and they just need to meet deadlines. They're not really gonna take time to dig into that why. But like you said, we are part-time psychologists and we can have a long chat about this. But this was a great question. Thank you, Chris. Okay, so actually that was a great moment for pausing. And now let's dig into the other part, which is positioning, which is something extremely amazing. And if Chris says that we are part-time psychologists, I would also add that we are part-time magicians, like we do magic, because positioning has to do a little bit with that. So positioning is the process of creating a unique image and identity for a brand or product in the minds of consumers. So it involves identifying the key benefits and attributes that makes us different from competitors. And then once we find that, then we're going to communicate it in a way that resonates with the audience. So you first think about your branding and what you stand for and what is your values and what is that core, the DNA. And then from there, you say, okay, what literally think about positioning as like placing something in people's minds. So think about if your customers are a board, and then their mind is a board, and in their mind they have luxury, they have fun, they have different types of perceptions. And then you as a business owner, you're going to say, you know what, I want to position, I want to put a sticky note in the mind of my consumer in the space of luxury, as an example. Or I want to place my business as a sticky note in the place of my consumer as a very credible source of information. Whatever it is, fill in the blank, right? So there are different approaches. Again, marketing, although it's half art, is also half science. And there has been people that have done studies and things to come up with these approaches. So there are different ways that you can position a brand, and these are the most common. So there is the functional position, and this one just focuses on the principal benefit of the product. Um, I I'm a car mechanic, and maybe I'll just position myself as that. What I do, I just provide very good, high quality car services. The emotional positioning is that then you want to move away from the actual thing that you do, and maybe you want to appeal to the feelings and values of the consumer. So, for example, Target does that. Target is just a convenience store, just like any other convenience store. But when they do their communications, when they do their marketing, they don't talk about come here, you're gonna find everything, come here for price, come here because you're gonna get the latest furniture and the latest electronics. You don't do that. They don't do that. There's like come here because you're gonna feel good, come here because we are it's like a family, it's a different vibe. So they're more likely targeting or selecting the emotional positioning. There is also the symbolic positioning. And this one is associating your brand to a particular image or lifestyle. Fashion here, it's, I think they always go with this approach, in my opinion, or like the majority of fashionist companies, because they don't promote the actual function of the product, which is cover you from this from weather or like covering you so that you're not like naked. They don't talk about those things. Maybe the emotion, yes, it makes you feel comfy, maybe, but the majority of fashion brands, they want to position their brand as an image, as a lifestyle. Oh, you are having a Louis Vuitton bag. It's not just a bag, it's a lifestyle of luxury, it's an image, right? So that is symbolic positioning. And then monetary positioning, it's also when it's connected purely to price, which is nothing wrong with that. In Walmart, it's a perfect example of that. They position their business purely on price. They are a store just like Target, but their play, well, actually now they're even trying to change and a little bit of their communication. They're kind of they want to go towards like the emotional positioning. I don't think they're going to make it. I think the original strategy, hey, we're the cheapest, come here for cheap stuff, it works too. Because guess what? Guess what? There are people for everything, and some people still want just to go to a business just because it's the cheapest thing. And I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with that, because I know that when I talked about elevating the view of a business and elevating the view of what a customer has to offer, I know that I mentioned that we need to move away from the money portion, and I still think that. Um, but the reality is that not everybody has the same acquisition power. The reality is that not everybody has the same money, a lot of money. So targeting the pricing and positioning your company as the cheapest on something or as the most expensive on something, that is also a play. That is also a strategy. But again, I bring the same point about being coherent and consistent. Whatever position you pick here, it has to be consistent on everything else. Because if you say, or if you say, oh my God, we are the friendliest people in the world, if that's what you say, but then you train your employees not good, and you as a business owner don't don't do friendly behaviors, then you're out. And then if you're going to position yourself as an emotional brand where it's very friendly, yet you're not giving the friendly treatment to your employees, you're not being coherent. So you see how everything really ties to being coherent. So again, there is another exercise to come up with your brand, your positioning statement. So I want you to think about what you want to be known for, and think about that challenge, that need, that desire that you're helping you solve with your business, and then you just write it down. So you can start for, I want to be known for da. Then my audience is, which is, this is very important. And in order to all these things, you also have to do your target audience, your competitive advantage. You have to do, competitive analysis. You have to do a little bit of homework. But then you just think about, okay, my audience is da. And my audience comes to me because they need help with fill in the blank. And when you do that, the outcome is going to be this positioning statement, which I highlight that is internal. So the branding, the brand statement, and the positioning statement are yours. Those are things that you're going to read often that are going to help you craft your strategy. And they're going to help you guide your communications. And then all you're gonna you're gonna end up with something like this. And here I just show you an example because I know that I said that people like companies like Nike and Apple and Coca-Cola, these big firms actually apply um, these theories that I'm telling you. So here are some examples of Nike. For example, Nike, their positioning statement says, for athletes and fitness enthusiasts who demand high quality performance apparel and footwear, Nike provides innovative products that empower and inspire them to reach their full potential. Here, you're talking about your audience, you're talking about how you help them solve the problem and what you want to be known for. Apple, for tech-savvy individuals who demand sleek and intuitive devices that seamlessly integrate into their daily lives. Apple provides cutting-edge technology with a focus on design and user experience. Again, very concise, very coherent. And if you think about these two examples, if you think about Nike and Apple, go to one of their stores or use one of their products and you're going to see that they are coherent with what they say and with what they do and how they behave. So let's do a recap because I know that we just went through a lot of information and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. So let's do a recap of what was the objective of today's session and what were the answers that we discovered today or the guidance that we got today. So the objective of today's session was to learn how to attract your tribe. In order to learn how to attract our tribe, we first must elevate the view of our business and move it from this transactional situation to a more personal connection relationship. We also need to elevate the view of our customers from purely they have what they need, which is money, to this is the people that I want to serve. I connect with them not only on monetary reasons, but I also connect with them on beliefs, on values. This is my type of people. I'm happy and excited to continue to improve my business to help this type of people, right? Because in return, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get instead of that example of me looking into a restaurant and just picking one, you're going to start creating your tribe, which is people that engage with your business and then automatically they're hooked with you. How do you achieve that? Well, your thoughts, feelings, and actions must be coherent. And this is when we talked about the law of attraction and then the law of vibration. And then once we have those things organized, then we're gonna dig deeper into this thing. So branding, the process of creating tangible and non-tangible representation of the business in the minds of your tribe. And we talk about this model that it has 4 stages of building that strong brand, which is the brand resonance model. Then we are going, the first homework that you have, I know that I didn't advertise homework, but hey, we have homework, is if you have not created your brand statement, start creating that. And if you click on the handout section here in the webinar, you're going to see these questions that we just went through. And then once you have that, then we're going to dig into positioning, which is the process of creating a unique image and identity for a brand or product in the minds of consumers. And again, you're going to do your homework for that. So this is it. This is super high level. But the good news is that what's next is that we have an entire day. So if I know that we talked about simple yet complex concepts, so you can join us in 1 hour for the Spanish class where we're going to talk about the same thing, and maybe hearing it in a different language could help you. We also have the Q&A session where actually I also want to talk about a little bit about perceptual mapping, which is huge and is a very good tool that can help you with your positioning. Other models like the brand archetypes and other type of things. So we can talk about those things there. And also, if you want a little bit more of a, oh yeah, this is the agenda. a little bit more of one-on-one sessions, I want to talk to you about joining the Women Who Market Club. So this is a friendly, welcoming, and collaborative community. The whole purpose is connecting you with training, with knowledge. So you get me and you get all my knowledge to help you with your idea, your business. You also get to connect with like-minded people. So mainly women, but also men. This is here. We welcome everybody, but other people that are also starting and building their businesses, and also for growth opportunities. We hear a lot of people come to us, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, and we're always open to promote the people from our club. So this is another way that you can keep connecting with us. If you join the club, you get one-on-one training, private WhatsApp group, access to this class recording. You will get access 100%. You also get discounts on services like one-to-one classes and personalized workshops. And you also get priority access whenever we have something first, then you are the first one to get it. Quickly about the pricing for the club. So if you join us for 3 months, it's $30 per month. If you join us for the entire year, it's only $15 per month. You save 50%. And then if you join us for 6 months, it's $20 per month. So if you want to join and keep more of the one-on-one conversation, I'll be here all day. Here is my information, and you can also reach out to book your enrollment session. But for now, we have 3 minutes. So let's see if you have more questions about what we just discussed or anything else that we can help you with. We are here for you. Okay, so it looks like we had the question, the initial question. So I want to believe that you guys are saving it for the Q&A session. So that one is going to be at 1 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for joining. I truly hope that you gain information to help you attract your tribe. Feel free to download the handout that is attached here where you have all the questionnaire and all the key information. And then otherwise, I'll see you later today, or I'll see you next month, the 18th of May, which I think is going to be a Thursday. Okay? Well, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you soon. Bye.